gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me, Alban, hanging out with me.
Woohoo!
And as Stuart said, thunderstruck, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
So, yeah, we've got that going on.
Explosions.
Yeah, thanks for everyone joining us today. We're going to see what happens with today's show, see what we talk about. We've got a few things that we will cover on some streaming news, and we will also have Sidekick on. He plans to be on after he gets done with work. He'll come on, and we will talk about his community project. I think that it's a very unique thing. It's unique, and you guys will see why. I think that's kind of a funny word. It's a unique thing that he's created for the community, and would like to get the community behind on it, or the community behind the project. And I think that it is a great thing for you guys to check out. See what you think. See if you would like to get involved in it. So we got that going on. Let me take a look at who we got in the room here. Let's start. Who was the first one to jump in here? Sahil first. Sahil's always first. Yeah, there we go. In here first. What's up, Trooper?
I think that so he'll hit 5 o'clock before us, maybe.
Yeah,
He's always nice and early. Thanks, brother.
He is always. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Trooper, nice to join you. Bass, thank you for joining us. Steve, thanks for joining us. Sharon, thank you. Thank you. Eddie, let's see. Again, I spoke about Stuart in the house. So nice to see him. Mandy. Terror, what's up, Terror? Mr. Terror Skins. It's great to see. It's again, you'll see that he knows Sidekick, and so he's a little bit of interest in that part of the story. Michael, thank you for joining us. Steve, thanks for joining us. Patty, always watching us. Thank you for joining us, Patty. Let's see as I roll down. Mr. DJ Themes. What do you know, my man? Roger. You know, our Wednesday nights. He's always here on a Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Jim, thanks for joining us. Mike, thank you for joining us. Trevor, thank you for joining us. So we got a handful of people in here. We're up at 40 right now. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. And, well, bad thing is I wish I accidentally turned on Wi-Fi yesterday or day before yesterday when I was messing with my computer. And so now my Wi-Fi is on, not my hardwired, which is not good. Are you there, Alban? Is anybody hearing me? I see Alban is frozen. Maybe he's just frozen. Do you guys hear me? Am I still live? I guess I could open up another tab. Hold on a second here. Let me see, because it looks like I can't tell if. Well, yeah, it's still showing me live. Okay. All right. So it's showing me live, and I'm seeing Alban frozen. All right. So, and he's gone. So maybe he'll be back. He'll be back in a second. So that's cool. Marty, what's up, my man? Brother from another mother. He hanging in with us. Nice to see him 2 weeks in a row. Marty's going to join in here. There he is. There's Alban's back. All right, you're back. You're back.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I was like, I thought it was my internet.
Back in.
because I messed up before I started the show, but I'm already started on the show, so we are moving forward with it. I'm on Wi-Fi instead of my hardwire.
Oh,
Not what I really like to do. Classy
hardline,
mouse.
baby, hardline.
I do, but I turned it off the other day when I was messing
Oh.
with my Shield, sending stuff
Uh-huh.
over. I turned on my Wi-Fi.
Didn't you get that straightened out? Where
I did, but then I was messing around with it. You know how you get changing things.
We'll get you back the right way.
yeah. So, I'll get it sorted out. PC Paul is over here in the chat. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for everyone. So we got Funsters in the house. So all right, we got quite a few people in here. Again, we will talk about the project Unique. We will talk about that skin project or that community skin project once he comes on and he can explain it better, and we'll be able to talk about that. We'll talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about how your cable bill may be going up. If you are still hooked to Spectrum, you may be seeing an increase in your prices. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about some add-ons. We also got Typhoon TV. I do want to make a little discussion about VPNs. We talked about VPNs last week. I would like to give some of my thoughts a little bit on that. And again, I'm not a security expert. I will give you some food for thought, and you think about how this applies to your life, because each of us have to make our own decisions on security and all kinds of stuff like that. So we'll talk a little bit about VPNs and do you need it? Because I did get messages from people, oh, do I need a VPN? We'll talk about it. Well, and you decide, because I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I'll just give you some things to think about, places for you to go check, and then you go decide on your own. Black Sales, thanks for joining us. I saw Kodi Man Themes. And again, Kodi Man Themes does a lot of, if you would like to watch some of his channel, he does a lot of videos on builds. So if you're big into wanting to see a lot of builds, he does way more than I do. I get kind of caught off on other stuff, but he stays pretty consistent on doing some build videos. So that might be, if you're looking for some build videos, check him out. See if he has some, if he's showcases a build that you might want to try out. So other than that, sorry, Alban. So how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, bro. I was happy it's Friday to be on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Friday. Oh yeah, every day, Saturday for you, because you're retired, man. So. No, that's all right.
I saw that on Telegram that you were, crying about having to go to work. But I was going to say something, but I said, I'll be nice. I won't,
Yeah, it's just,
I would just
gets to be all them days in a row.
To sleep,
Oh God, it's been one of those things where it's like a bunch of days in a row, because I had one of my guys that's on vacation, and it was just one day after another. Yeah. So yeah. All right, Black Sales, good point. I'm gonna do VPN plus RD. I wrote that down, so I will do my best to talk about that. So, and again, I'm not a security expert. I'm not here to tell you what you do and don't need to do. Just give you some things to think about. So one of the big news this week was Typhoon TV. I'm not sure if anybody knows about Typhoon TV, but Typhoon TV was an APK, been around for a while, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a Terrarium fork, if I'm not mistaken. But it came out about that time. When Terrarium was having their issues and shut down. It might have even came out a little bit before that. But Typhoon TV was very, very popular. Very easy to use. You could input your Real-Debrid in there, your premiumized in there, your track list. It had a lot of the same features that Terrarium that people got used to. Well, guess what? It's gone. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share... Hold on a second. Let me get over here. And I'm going to share my screen on what the developer said. And so you can't read this. It's kind of small, and I know. I will make it a little bit bigger, but I can't make it but so big. So, and I'll read it to you. I do know how to read me a little bit. All right, so yeah, just a little bit.
Is it English?
It's Spanish. It's Spanish. I can read it in Spanish, man. Hello, guys. All the people in our server. No. So it says hello, guys, and this was on his Discord channel. So this is where this came from. Hello, guys. All the people on this server. It's been a long trip, and when I say that, I mean a fully long, fun trip. Typhoon made some changes in the streaming world, and we became big players in the world scene. If the world needs to know, some things wouldn't have been without us. Why am I sending any messages to someone on the team? Since Ace contacted us 1 or 2 months ago, I am not sure. Fully went. Well, he's not sure. He's got some.
Fully win, but
yeah,
well.
fully win, but it's fully win, but it's I don't know. It didn't seem like float. Fully win, but well, we were hit as well. Okay, so he was hit a couple months ago by Ace Contact. So we made some calls. Here, me and my guys, we will have to close down project. This isn't my final word in the streaming world. I will always be on Discord. World is one cruel place, if you ask me. Why I say that in this time, the world pandemic, if you guys believe, and I have proof, we have over 7 million people on app. So obviously he's not American. Doesn't speak English.
Right.
Yeah, or the UK. So what is my last word? What is my last world? Which I'm guessing word. Guys, I'm sorry. I knew it would happen one day, but I didn't know when really to say. All best from TV. So basically, he's stopping due to Ace sending some letters, and he'd been around for a long. Says 7 million people were using the app. Says also said something about. He said that this would not be my last. It would be not the last that you hear from him. So we're going to see where this goes. Typhoon was, again, a very popular app, worked very well. But I don't mean to sound bad, but when you get these guys or these apps, I'm just going to say guys, I'm going to say the apps. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have donations or a paid service, you pay, a paid service on these apps. The money trail is you can find it unless they're all using Bitcoin and they're using all kinds of things like that. These things can be tracked down. You can be found out who you are, and they can get a letter to you. It's not a matter of if these kind of apps are going to be shut down. It's just a matter of when they become too big. You know what I mean? Because it becomes too big, and he said 7 million people. I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, he was pretty popular. It was a pretty popular add-on or APK. App APK. So I think they're going to be shut down. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys think. On the side chat, is there an APK that you've would use? But it also pulls it into, would you pay for an app? Because there's a lot of those apps now have a club or a premium service where you pay for it. You pay on top of your Real-Debrid. So you have your Real-Debrid that they'll offer links via Real-Debrid or premiumized. And then you pay for a club or premium or VIP or whatever they call it. So I'm not sure that it's tough for me to say, hey, people, get behind these things, because it's inevitable that they're going to shut down. It's inevitable that some add-ons in Kodi are going to get shut down. But the thing is that they're not as big and huge. And when these APKs, which a lot of people have moved to because they're easier, and they've moved to these APKs, and it's easier to shut them down. And it becomes a little bit more because think about it, with Ace, what they want to do is go after what's the biggest bang for the buck, because they're a lawyer firm. It's a law firm. They're lawyers trying to work for their clients. So they had to figure out, where do we put our resources? So you want to impact the largest segment with the smallest investment. So you're not going to go after 100 small little add-ons. It's easier to go after a big APK like this, saying 7 million people, and you go after them. What was the other one that went down a couple months back? Oh shoot, I talked about it. Was it BTV? No, wasn't BTV. What was the other one that went down just a few months ago that everybody was using? It had the VIP room. So I'm looking through here about what some of the people. Sinclair.
Something there in the chat for you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So with Sinclair as another one of those. It's another one of those forks, and I cannot remember. Sinclair was a fork of what was that other big APK? TV Zion. Thank you, Snakebit. TV Zion. Yes, thank you, Snakebit. It was part of it. I don't know if it's the same guy, but they used the exact template. And then he did some other things. The scrapers are not part of the package. If you guys ever use Sarin, it's the same idea. The scraper packages are separate. It's got the APK or the add-on, and then you install the scrapers. You do the same thing with Sinclair. Sinclair is they did have it as beta where anybody could use it for free, and then they were going to go to a paid platform or a structure. That concerns me. Not that I'm worried about people getting ripped off, because they'll say, oh, it's only $2 a month or whatever it is. But the thing is that you think about, let's just say they have a million, which is small, or let's say 500,000 subscribers that are paying $1 a month. Now, $1 a month isn't much, right? I mean, you would say $1, that's pretty cheap. But if you have 500,000 subscribers, I don't know. I mean, I understand people feel they need to be paid for their work, but in a lot of me believes that the streaming community and what I got into was to help each other, to mitigate the amount of money we spend. But I see there's these people that create these APKs. Well, you need to sign up for us, and we're going to give you VIP. We're going to pay you. You get this. You get these extra stuff. And I don't know. I don't want to say they're sharks in the water, but I think that they're there to, capture some of that money. So I don't know. So have you used any APKs? Alban,
not anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Because of that certain word I don't think I'll say, that everyone knows that I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to we were all going to have to drink every time he says Plex. Yeah, it's easy. I have hooked up some of my friends with like TV's on actually months ago, right before I went shut down. I actually had hooked up some people had wanted to stick, and I'm like, all right, so I set it up for them, and I sent them on. It had Kodi, and it had an IPTV, and it had TV Zion, because it's easy. And it was, I think I was the kiss of death, because I think it was about 2 weeks after I gave them that, it got shut down. So I was, and then they're calling me like, hey, I tried to use that thing and it didn't work. I was like, well, sorry, my bad. So it was Turks is another APK, which I've talked about on the show. It's completely free though. You do have to see some ads. And it's like when you back out of a TV show or a movie, you see an ad, and it's like a 20-second ad, maybe a 30-second ad. If you're not able to toggle out and close the window, it might be 30 seconds, but no money there. So again, I can't knock that. I mean, if you're not wanting to pay for Real-Debrid, then that's all non-Debrid stuff. So yeah, take a look at that. But Typhoon TV is gone. Maybe he'll come back with another project. Wouldn't doubt it. Especially, and I haven't used Typhoon TV. I'm not sure. Was Typhoon TV? I wonder if they had a paid subscription, a VIP. I don't know. You guys in the yeah, I don't know. Anybody in the side chat that used Typhoon TV? Did they have a premium subscription thing? Noir, nice to see you. White Hat jumped over here. Next Level Tech. And I see DaButcher.
Beach.
Yep, and look, DaButcher says, it's Turks is the only APK user, and Turks works really well. I mean, works really, really well. Again,
He's been around forever.
Yep, and thank you, Next Level. So Typhoon didn't. So, that's it's with when we have these APKs, you guys, it's not if they're gonna go down, it's just when they're going to. So, but hopefully you guys find some other options. There is plenty. So I'm gonna go over here to APK time.
Okay.
So right now, T Sports Live, Cinema HD, he has BTVs on here. So there's a lot that we've heard about. Cyberflix is still around. He's been dodging the bullet for a long time. So he's been around a long time. So there is some APKs, but again, you're going to have to stay a little bit knowledgeable, keep your stay up on top of things, because when these APKs go down, if you've been using a certain APK and it's gone. Whereas a little bit with Kodi, the one benefit of this is if you're using Kodi and you're using a build, right? And let's say an add-on goes down, they close an add-on. Normally, if the builder is staying on top of it, he's going to give you other options. There's going to be other add-ons that you can use. So that is a benefit to Kodi, that you got more options there. So I see Chipman Tech says cinema has been a pain lately.
Yeah.
So and Patty has
APKs don't work on iPhones.
What works on an iPhone? Patty has on here, I try to learn all of it, APKs, Kodi, Plex, just to have things in my back pocket. And that's a perfect thing. If you're cutting the cord, and this is what you're here to do, you're here to cut cord, save money. You're going to save money, but you got to put a little work in. You got to put a little work to continue to save the money, because it may be inexpensive or free, but you have to put in some work. So either a little bit of work saves you money, or you don't put any work and you pay the money every month. It's your choice. And people that try to stay knowledgeable and stay on top of things, you don't have to make it your life, but you need to find a few people to follow on Twitter or on YouTube or some Discord groups, Telegram groups, whatever it is, that is going to give you that information. So when this goes down, hey, what are my options? That's what you got to do. So that, again, if you're going to save money, you've got to put in a little bit of work. It's a little sweat equity. I mean, you got Alban, who doesn't use Kodi, doesn't use an APK. I mean, you use Plex, and you got to put work in. Yeah. And you put the work in, and then you get the content you want.
Yep, and I have it. I have to worry about buffering. No one knocking on my fucking door.
Yeah,
it's mine. Screw you.
I like Roger. Friends don't let friends use iPhones. I mean, my kids are iPhone kids, and they love the iPhone. I hate it.
I can't stand it.
I'm not an iPhone guy, so I don't drink the juice. I don't drink the apple juice.
Nope.
So, but hey, we said Plex, so. So, Typhoon TV is gone. One of the projects, and I was going to show. And I was going to show a few things on Kodi 19 that I wasn't able to show last week because my Kodi was crapping out. So let me stop that stream. Let's crank that up. Hey, and I found out why I was having issues with my my computer, and like when I would try to open Kodi, it was like having just all kinds of problems. It would be just slow. Every time I tried to open up a menu, slow. It was I have my mouse hooked up to a USB hub, and the USB hub was giving it problems. I unpowered the USB hub, and my mouse works great. So
Did you try plugging it back in? Maybe it just needed like a reset.
yeah, I had plugged it in and plugged it out, and it had issues, so I just left it unplugged, and it works just fine.
So why not
Because
just plug Does there anything else on that hub that like needs power or anything?
I don't think so. Okay. Because I was running low on some. I have too many USBs plugged into my computer. I've got, it seems like everything's plugged in USB. So
yeah, hey, it's better than the old serial ports, Yeah,
you're right about that.
Remember them days, only serial 1 and 2, and that's it. You're screwed unless you're gonna try to, a printer port.
You're right about that. One of the things I was going to talk about last week before my computer crapped out, or my Kodi was crapping out, was Purely Wrestling. Now, Purely Wrestling is in the crew repo. So if you have the crew repository, and this is now in 19, if you are a wrestling fan, and I get asked about wrestling every week. I get private messages and messages in groups all the time about wrestling. This does a phenomenal job. They do offer some live parts as well as going to your show, archives, documentaries. You can see, let's see, go to WWF documentaries. Here we go with all kinds of documentaries.
Oh, nice.
So you can see lots of content. If you are a WWE fan, you like that type of content, this may be something you're going to want to check out. I believe on the replays, you're going to need to have DaButcher.
Okay.
I think they have direct links, so you're going to want to have DaButcher for the for some of the links on shows that are over.
Are they carrying UFC stuff too or not?
No. It is just it's just WWE. It's just wrestling. But lots of stuff. They got a Discord channel. Check that out. It is in the crew repository. Very nice. I thought that the guys, this is a group that splintered off of another wrestling add-on about a year ago. If people were watching the show about a year ago, I talked about a group of people that broke away from a very popular wrestling add-on due to some of the other leaders or members that were admins on that particular add-on, and a couple guys broke away, and with the help of some of the members in the crew, they were able to create their own add-on. This add-on has been around for a while, y'all. This is not brand new. I knew about this months ago. I'd say 6 or 8 months ago, this has been out. But they were keeping it on the down low. They didn't talk about it a lot. They were very quiet about it. So I didn't talk about it. They didn't want it out there, so I wasn't going to bring it up. Hold on a second. I think I heard sidekick. Okay. All right, sidekick. I'll be right with you, bub.
Gotcha.
I was finishing up here. But they didn't want it talked about, so I didn't bring it up. But they went ahead and added themselves into, or they asked to be added into the crew repository. And once you're in the crew repository, you're going to have some eyes on you. And that's just going to be, you're going to be seen there. So they basically went public. So check that out. If you're a wrestling fan, that is something definitely you're going to want to check out. I will give another thing that I was looking at in the crew repository has added quite a few little things in there. They added the Jizz Planet was added in there. Now that is also by itself. It has a repository. DaButcher, he has been added in. He's added into that. So that was added in there. And about 2 months ago, SSTV was added into, along with Hypersonic, 2 IPTV services were added as Kodi add-ons. So great thing, even if you're not wanting to use just the crew, which the crew has, it's, to me, it's one of those staples for me. And it's one of those staples that I install for people if they want me to set up, because it's easy. It has everything. It's got live sports if you want live sports. So, you can, people need to have, for me, people aren't asking me, hey, where do I find the game? Where do I find this? Because it's got everything. So, they do a good job with the scraping of things. So let me go ahead and we'll stop with talking about that. And we're going to say hello to Sidekick. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Dabs? How you doing, Rob?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Nice to have you on here. Now, Sidekick is a guy that's been in the community. I've seen you and you've messaged me on and off for what? I'd have to say I've seen you around for it. Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I mean, did you start off doing builds?
I started off doing builds, but I wasn't that big into it. But I quietly got into more and more skinning and then working into Photoshop more, definitely with the Photoshop aspect. I really like that. I was never an artist when I was a kid, but it's coming out in me as an adult.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about this is you're able to be creative in this platform. This platform, and it's, you know what, when you do this stuff, everyone thinks, well, I'm not going to be as good as this person or that person. And everyone's always like, that guy's so great, I'll never be that good. You know what? If you use it and you're happy with it, that's all that matters. If you make a build and nobody else but your family uses it, that's a win. I mean, if other people like it, that's just a bonus, you know. And I only make builds for me and my family. That's who I make them for. Now, if other people want to use it, fine. But I want it to be for me and my family first and foremost, because I don't want to have to go to everybody's house to fix it. I'd rather say, here's a build, just install it, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead. We'll talk about your project.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah.
No, go ahead. We'll talk about the project.
Okay, yeah. Just keep me on point, Alban.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. And that's the reason why I like to have a guest host, because if I don't, Dabs goes over this way, and I forgot that I was going to go over here.
Yeah, no, but it's okay. We could come back. It's there on the chat for you anyhow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll touch on that.
Okay.
Let me write that down.
It's gonna sit there anyhow. So.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't look over there.
Okay.
All right. So, Sidekick. So talk about your project that you've come up with and you decided to create, and how the community might be able to jump in on this.
All right. So it was inspired by the Andy Baroni skin, which had local images you could use or web-based images that he had. And I think he walked away for a while. He pops in here and there and stuff like that. Somebody messaged me a couple months ago that since his server was down, can I do a project like that? So that pretty much planted the seed. So I looked at the amber skin, and that was kind of hard in how he does it in his method. And then I used I took the Baroni skin, and his method is so much simpler in how he applies it and everything. So I ran with it, and I thought, why just make it for what images I could put in there? And what about if I got the community involved and to see everybody's else's shared artwork and how it applies in his skin, because there's a lot of combinations you can use, and you can share another person's image and apply it, another button image, and apply that with somebody else's menu bar and stuff like that. So I thought that was really an interesting way of going about it. So that's why I applied community sections for the images and stuff like that. So
in a nutshell, for anybody that's like, we're talking, I put it down here. Sidekick is my guest today, talking about a new project, and it's a skin, but it's he's trying to, and it's called Unique. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, you as in the end user.
Yep. Yeah. Unique, and it's a unique skin, and what you're able to do, and what he's hoping is to bring this forward so that other people will be able to submit buttons and bars and artwork. You'll be able to submit that, and it would be put on a cloud, and then people will be able to share it. So it's not, and everything is not housed on your device or in the skin zip. It is actually going to be housed on the cloud, which helps to keep the size down, because you're hoping to have a lot of the bars and a lot of buttons what I would, when we talked, you seem like you're kind of wanting a big project here. And if you had all those buttons and all those bars all in the skin, that skin's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hold on. He's pulling it up over there. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So whenever you open up Kodi, I will turn on share your feed.
Yeah. I'm just going to show where my index is, and you can see all the sections in here. So these are basically what I have put it up in here as just what I would like to do, because in case I get bored and I'm always into, I want to do some photoshopping, I can contribute. So there's all these images, and then Funster was the first to add some community
artwork,
textures and stuff like that. The one thing I think I won't be doing is the community section for the backgrounds.
Okay.
Because I think that can get way too crazy.
Yeah.
With all the people submitting. And the one thing I did, I don't want to do that, did I? Okay. One thing I didn't want to get into, what I didn't foresee was I didn't split the PSDs, and now the PSDs are all here for you to use. I didn't split up the text, the icon wall and the icon frame, because I wanted people to mix and match that. So, but I didn't key in the information on that. So I actually separated it here now. Initially, I didn't. So, but basically, if we go to Photoshop, here's the PSD for the 5 menu button. If everybody sticks to this size, there won't be any sizing issues when you submit it and I upload it. That'll be the same with the vertical menu button. And here we go with the vertical menu bar. And then this is the standard Silvo. I even kept this in as a base for Silvo, because it's his skin at the base. So this still can be used. But if you use these guidelines, you'll be fine. And here's the icon wall, and this is what I didn't separate. And then here's the frame. So people, if you stay within this size of the frame, it won't affect the wall, which is great. So.
And again, we're talking with Sidekick, who has come up with this new community project skin. What he's offering here, you guys, is they basically have some base templates to keep the buttons and the bars. So if you want to do some Photoshop, he's got the PSDs. You download that PSD, which gives you a template. And then you do the art, you change it up, you want to add some stuff, and then get it to him, and he'll upload it to the server, and he's getting ready to show you how it's going to be able to be added to the thing. And again, this is a great idea because it's not going to make the skin humongous, because the things that he's talking about adding, all these bars and all these buttons, if you added every single one, your skin could be 500-600 megs, the skin alone, not even talking about any add-ons. So this is a great way, and you can mix and match. This is a great thing. So go ahead, Sidekick.
All right, so this is Silvo at its base. You can still do all the colorations and everything that you want to do, which is right here. I only ran into one issue with the skin colors, and I haven't replicated it again. The issue is not there. It's not, these buttons pop in and out for some reason, and I have no idea. I did add focused and unfocused colors for the icons and the icon layout. And then when I did the reset skin colors to default, I actually included those buttons in that. And for some reason, even though the buttons are in the skin, it won't read it for some reason, and I don't know why. But anyway, getting to, you can still colorize it here in the home menu, menu bar right here. Let's say you want a little lime green, you save that. Standard Silvo, it's there.
Nice.
Okay, now, if you don't want that color, choose skin colors. Default is white. All right, save. Okay, now getting to the actual textures. Here's the home menu bar. You could set it, if you have one that's saved on your device, you could use it locally. You can set it locally. I have not been able to apply a URL to this, and I may update that to not URL. Here's the server images. So this is what the section that I put in, and these are the bars I used. I tend to like this one the most. So there that is. It takes a little second to load because it's server based. And then what you could also do is you can add the button. I have it disabled right here. So if you want the server images, there's a button. Let's stick with the same thing. Here you go. And there's the button.
Mm-hmm. And you can see now, again, with the button, now it's hard to see for someone that may not know what they're looking at. Now you can see the menu bar was behind those buttons. Now the buttons are kind of big on that.
Yeah.
So you can, yeah, I can see it. I can see it on the edges of around that. You can see, and again, if someone, now let's say that someone used some transparency if they use transparency on that button, that menu bar would probably show through a little bit more. It depends on how they set up, how they create the button.
And then let's say you just want buttons. So you can go to the home menu bar and you go all the way down here and disable the home menu bar. And now you're just going to have buttons there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I kept all the layouts also. So you still have all these layouts, the standard Silva layouts. Mm-hmm. You can go center or low, depending on what background you have. You know, if it's a centralized, focused background, and you want to be able to see that, you can pop the menu bar low. Icon layout is pretty. Let's go to the icon layout. Now this is icon layout. Okay, this is definitely a server-based image. So now I haven't come up with a better method in the settings to actually just change it to the default. So if we're in textures here, it's saying the current path is up there on the server. The URL and path is right here. So the only way I found is just clearing this out, wiping that out, and going back, and it'll go to, it's supposed to. Where was I? Textures. Icon wall did change. Okay. Now the frame I didn't change. There we go. If you wipe that out. Now it's default icons.
Right.
And what else? Vertical menu bar, the same thing. Go to vertical. I think this is just buttons because we disabled the menu bar.
Yep.
So we'll go back into here, and we will enable the menu bar. And let's just disable the buttons for a second so you can see the menu bar. And it's default because the URL path is, it's elegant, right? So let's wipe that out, go default. And that's not the default. Server images. I'm on horizontal. Why didn't you tell me that? Man, long day. Here it is. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Here we go. Done. There we go. That's the standard one. That comes default with the skin. That's in the skin based. So that's good because if your internet goes out and or whatever, and you just want to watch off your library or something like that, you'll still have the textures that way.
So pull up add another one of your can you add a different menu bar on the vertical there?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and add. Let's just see a couple that you showed like one. So let's just take a look at any of those.
Okay, here's a black box.
Okay, so it's got you can see it before it was more just one look.
Yeah, very plain looking. And it's another one. This is my favorite.
Yep.
And then let's enable the button for it. And we'll go to
make it something different that like work against the button. Don't use use one of those so that the button doesn't look like the background. Like so the button don't look like the menu. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can see the variations you can get in all the variety and stuff like that, especially when you start adding, different artists and everything and their styles and stuff like that.
Yep. And see, that's the cool thing about this is that you're not trying to add everything into the skin itself, and you're saying, hey, anybody that wants to contribute to this project. And we know there's numerous Photoshop guys. I mean, you think of DJ or Funstar, any of those guys that love to mess around with Photoshop can go in and start creating some buttons or back or menus. And they enjoy that, and they could do it in, again, server based. It's not making your build your build any bigger. I mean, now granted, if you download every one of them and put them on the unit itself, but you're pulling them from the cloud, and I could see this becoming hundreds of buttons or hundreds of menu bars if everybody got into it.
Yeah. I forgot something also. Yeah. Now, Viper, he has over 10,000 Viper bars. So let's go to the home menu. He's done an outstanding job over the years.
Yeah, Viper's been around and quietly doing his thing.
So we also have the Viper collection. Now
Wow.
So what it's not the whole collection because I didn't want to crash O'Neill's server. Okay. So, but he has some really nice bars in here.
Yes.
One of my favorite ones. It just takes a second for it to load up.
Yeah, it's got to load.
Yeah.
And again, menu bars for you guys that
this one's gorgeous.
Clarify.
Oh, nice.
Just to clarify, this is the menu bar that's going to go across your skin, across the
horizontal
screen. Yep. Yeah, you have it set as horizontal.
There it is. Let's disable the buttons.
Yeah. Your buttons are kind of hiding it. Yep.
Yeah.
So you got this, and then there that is.
Yeah.
And again, Viper has made tons of those, and you would have to download those separately or install his repository. I haven't used his bars. Remember, he had the glow bars. All those things
actually is glowing. There's a blue outer glow to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can go, and again, you would have to normally. It used to be that you would have to install the Viper glow bars separately. But what this is it's Sidekick's trying to say, hey, why don't we try to pull this all in? I think it's a great idea that you added those bars in there because he has so many already. Why not, tap into some of that great work that he did there? Yeah.
So there's another aspect I added to this. In the interface, if you go to interface in the settings, you go to fonts. I added all extra fonts.
Oh. Wow. And there's always people complaining about, I can't read that because, us, Auburn, we need a bigger font. Yep. We need a bigger font for us. It's hard to see.
Yeah. Now, initially, I did a video on how to update the fonts in there and how they work, a tutorial on how they work and stuff like that. And then I actually started adding them. And you have to resize every one.
Yeah.
Now, I can't resize everyone throughout the skin for all these because that's just crazy nuts because not all fonts are the same size.
Right. And you have to resize them for different places. Like
the
sub menu is the menu. There's different places that you have to go.
Right.
Because when I used to change fonts,
so Heavy Metal's a crazy looking one. So I like that one. So let's go back to the home menu. You got something that looks like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? There's another aspect to adding to a font, a label, is you can add a shadow color. It actually makes the label pop out more. So I'm thinking about adding that as a setting where you can colorize it and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. If you could add shadows because it gives it that three-dimensional look.
Yeah. Especially a crazy looking font like that. It'll make a
now. So the Heavy Metal is just the menu and the sub menu because I don't see it in the rest of this. It's not throughout the whole skin. It
should have been font. Yeah, it is the sub menu and the time.
Yeah, because I didn't see it in the I don't see it in the when you went into the settings. Because if you set it in some skins, if you set it manually, it actually changed it in the settings, which makes it difficult. Some fonts look cool on a menu bar and are difficult as hell to try to read it when you read the settings. Pull up the star. What does Star Wars look like? I mean, you know, this is shout out to my babe because you know she's a Star Wars. She's a Star Wars. She's a Star Wars nerd. You know, that goes out to my girl. I want to see what that I got.
There you go.
All right. Oh, that doesn't look that's easy to read.
Yeah.
And that's real big and bold and thick. That's easy to read.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Wait. All right. So, hey, all right, bud, I'll pull that banner away. Sorry. Funster's like, I can't read the sub menu because of the menu bar. Yeah. And the reason why I had the banner, I'm trying to keep it so if people jump in, they know what we're talking about.
Can I just interrupt? Justin is asking. It says, "Awesome idea. Can you include standard icon options as well?"
Standard icon options, like changing the way they look.
Yeah,
like
I guess
different. So. Okay, let's go to the icon layout then. Yeah. So if we go to icon layout,
you'd have to change the icon pack.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know how to actually make that. It calls for a list item. It calls for a list item, and I don't know how I can get that list item to pull from the server a set of images. So I don't know how to select that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's like there is icon packs that you can get, but then you'd have to add that to the skin. And I have messed around when I messed around with skins in the past. You can install them and change it up. But that might be something. Again, this is another option that if more people get in on the project, because this is a community project. This is not a project you're saying, hey, I make it, you like it or not like it. You're like, hey, this is what we're working with. Who wants to jump in on this? So if someone wanted to help and say, hey, I might be able to figure out a way around that. And we can make them server based, hey, that's what this with Sidekick coming on here. He's saying, hey, I've created this. I've got this as a base. Who else would like to jump in on this to make this even better?
Oh yeah. Like the group's Iconic, all those artists in there. And then you got art and stuff like that.
Yes.
So when those guys chime in, that'll be great.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons when you and I talked is to have an option on here to have you come on and to show this project and say who else would like to jump in on this project, because it's a really cool project, and I think that I haven't seen anybody else put themselves out there like this. Now, maybe someone's going to say, no, Dabs, I created and nobody jumped on, or a few people helped me. But this is the first I've known about where people are like, hey, where Sidekick's like, hey, let's make this and make it server based is a great idea, because you're talking so much space is going to be saved because the end user picks what they want. I mean, I can have mine looking completely different from Alpin's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta be the first to say, Sidekick, I really, really enjoy this. I think you just brought me back to Kodi. Okay, just so you know, because
it's so obvious. So many people have left the community. It's like, so I was like thinking, you know what? Don't let anybody else leave. Let's keep it together.
Well, you brought me back. You brought me there. So I'm gonna I gotta mess with, because it gives me the opportunity to give people something too. Oh, I can't wait. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm thinking creating the button, especially if someone has a base template, if you've got Photoshop, and you're a little artsy, you can come up with all kinds of flares. And that bar you used, that was the Viper bar, that rainbowy one. If you think about it, if someone used a little bit of glass to where it's got the transparency and maybe a little bit of where it would distort that image behind it a little bit, it would really make it would really make it kind of pop. because you wouldn't want, for me, I wouldn't want to cover up that menu bar. I would just want to just accentuate just a little bit. And again, super way of people being able to help in a very small way. If you're a Photoshop person, you don't have to make a build. You don't have to create some add-on. You can do some of this and jump in on this project. You create some Photoshop PSDs, gets uploaded to the server, and right from your house, you can mess around and make it look like you want it. And you'd be like, I made those buttons. I made that menu bar. You know?
Yeah.
That's a great option. So let me ask you. So, like, what are some things that you have that you would like it, like that are not on it? That things that you would like. If I had a wish, I would like to add these things to this project.
Oh, to this project. Oh,
yeah.
But I thought about doing community section and the server-based images for the busy spinner. You know, you want different busy spinners and stuff like that. Yep. Also, this one will be kind of easy for me to set up. Timed out. All right. This button right here, the disable button, the radio button. You can change those.
Well, I'm not saying that, but
yeah. Well,
I'm not sharing it.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
That enable and disable things in settings.
Yeah.
You can change those too. Expand on that. Okay. So yeah, I thought about that. Maybe the sub menu bar too. It's kind of thin, but you know what? You can still do something with that.
Well, yeah, because if you created the menu, if you were able to do something with the sub menu to make it look a little different, and especially if you mix and matched them.
Yeah, little contrasting menus, sub menus.
And I will say now, I actually on my server for my build, I actually offer people to download backgrounds off of my server. Now, my build is very unpopular. I mean, not that many people use it, but it's. I actually did what you were talking about with the background images. I did the background images. Now, I did mine a little differently since I did a build. I used the file manager, and then I put DAB server, and then I did device backgrounds folder. And so you can pull up my server, and then I like this, and you just copy them. You know, you just copy it over to your folder because they're both added to the file manager, and again, I see where you're saying that could get out of hand if it got too big. Yeah. But it is cool. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, you can make them. I have like, I don't know, 80 backgrounds. You can make it look any way you want. If you're into dragons, my sister's into dragons.
I have to ask you about this, though. So as we test all these different images and Kodi pulls it, is it storing it in thumbnails?
It's good. Yeah. It's
so that may need to be cleared every so often.
Yeah. You'd have to. Yeah, it's going to save it because it's going to save it local. It's going to be in the cached. Once now, it will get cleared out after a certain time. But yes, if you're going to mess around with the skin and doing this project, and you're using unique and you're trying different things, and you tried a whole bunch of menu bars. I don't know how big those menu bars. Those menu bars can't be no more than 2 or 3 megs, right? I mean, I'm guessing they can't be like a menu bar, because that would be the bigger one. The menu bar is that like a couple megs? I don't know if you're able to pull.
Where did I store it? Let me go find one.
Yeah, find one on your thing, because it can't be no more than a couple megs. So you'd have to have. Seems like you'd have to download a whole mess of them to really make a difference. Yeah. I think your fan art is your biggest enemy on space, because it's 1080 by the full screen. So
okay, wait. Yeah. I will share my screen once more and show you.
Yeah.
All right, share screen. Share. All right.
There we go.
So, for instance, let's go to
make it full screen.
Yep. Thank you, bud.
Oh, am I good?
No, yeah. He was talking to me. He was talking to me.
Let's go to 5 items, home menu bar, server, This one right here, this red one is, where's the properties on this? Wait, I just had it on my main menu. Oh, you're gonna see my desktop. It's a mess. That one alone,
It's almost as bad as mine.
that one alone is what, 27 kilobytes?
Look at 27 kilobytes. That's not even a
Right.
meg. That's like
Right.
that's
what I said.
nothing.
I knew it had to be small. Yeah.
That's little.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not that
27 kilobytes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about, well, it could become a size issue. But the thing is it's such a small people, if they were worried about space, you're actually going to be worried more about that fan art or the thumb images off of if you click through a lot of movie lists.
And
but that fan art it'd be your biggest issue.
Another advice for anybody who wants to add, Photoshop, when you save for PNG, you want to save at the slowest possible speed. So because it'll save at the lowest possible size. Okay. The faster you save it, the higher the file is on Photoshop. Okay. And JPEG does the same thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, leave it to Funster.
Yeah.
Only 19 gigs. Yeah. So again, this is a project. It does not have any add-ons. It doesn't have any programs. This is going to be it's a customizable skin. You've taken the Silvo Baroni, which, hey, I know Baroni. Baroni was back with me. If you guys back when Kodi Custom Builds.
Yeah,
Baroni.
Cobra
Builds. Well, before he went Cobra, me, Wendy, and Paul, we ran Kodi Custom Builds on Facebook. It was the four of us. And I know Baroni very well. He is fickle. He is fickle, and I love him to death, even though he's fickle. He's hot and cold. And anybody that Droid Buddy.
Yeah, that was the shit.
Droid Buddy was him. Droid Buddy was him. And again, he did because he moved from Droid Buddy and went into to do skins. He also did some adult skins. He messed around with some adult stuff, and he actually did an adult APK, if I'm not mistaken, that didn't. He's a guy that has short attention span. He's 100% into one project, and he's one of those people like my honey, 100% into a project, and as soon as they get burned out on that, is like, okay, I'm over on this project, and this project is gone. So.
We all learn from somebody, and he learned from one of the a legend like Q. Mm-hmm. He picked up a lot of stuff from Q.
Yep. Because Q was in our group doing the skins. He was the skins and some add-ons, modifications of add-ons. But doing that fun stuff. So again, this is a skin project. I will post. Let me post I have it in the show notes so if you guys are watching this, you'll be able to look down there. Telegram link will be below, and join Sidekick's Telegram group. And I've posted it in my group, and I think some other groups posted it yesterday to try to pull in what the Telegram group is going to do. This is going to bring people in that can kind of knock around ideas, and also people are they're able to submit through Telegram. Because how are you wanting to get these PSD files or these images?
The zip files, direct message, because if you're going to post them in the group, and if I don't have time to scroll through whatever's said in there, I'm going to miss something. You know what I mean? So if I got to direct the message, that's probably the best way to say it.
And let me grab, I'm going to copy this. Let me throw this over here in the show as you guys are watching.
Sidekick, how did you want to get them again? From
direct message on Telegram.
Okay. All right.
Direct link. Hey, I'll send you a link in just a second, Noir. So
you want me to send it to him?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So what this link here is the same link that's in the show notes below. So if you guys are looking at this after the fact, or even now, you're able to look at and click the hyperlink. That will open up the Telegram group, and it's going to say, do you want to join this group? And in this group, and again, you don't have to be a person that's making menu bars, this and that. If you're wanting to know what's happening with this project, you're going to be able to see what's happening. People are going to be talking about it. I'm sure Sidekick, because I know she posted in there earlier today or last night, that had the updates and what your project was, and here's this and this. You gave like a little kind of a like a posted. I don't. Was it posted in as a pinned post? Like I think you might.
The updates I didn't put in the pin post.
Okay. So yeah, I think that this is on. I want to say it's on the ground floor. We're at the ground floor of this project. Maybe floor 1 because you created it, so you're not in the ground floor. We're at floor 1 or 2, and it's asking for more people to jump in and saying, "Hey, let's take this to the next step." And I think that is a great idea. And I love community project. I love it when people set their ego aside. I love it when people, because so often people create something and they say, "This is mine. I want nobody else to know how I did it. If you want to use it, fine, but I created this. It's all me." Whereas this project, you're saying, "You know what? I created this. Who else wants to come in and contribute?" Anybody that can come in and contribute. If you just contribute just a button, well, if you like that button, you're able to use it on your device, and anybody else can use it on their device. So I think that that's a really good idea. And I know I probably use the word community too much, but I do feel that way. I feel like a lot of times we are a community, and sometimes we do have just like a family.
You're talking about hysterical dudes. Here comes one, right?
Here's the fluffer.
You're really choppy, Dabs. It's I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi situation.
It might be. I don't know. I probably got too many things open. Let me close a couple of these.
It's looking all good on my side. I can see it's
okay.
all like 4K HD, like beautiful.
It's just HD. So Sidekick, do you have any links that you would want to share? Or I know that you had a wizard. This is on Kodi 19. I forgot to mention that.
Correct.
Right.
You can get it through my wizard. My same URL from my host, sidekickthemes.net, and it's in the unique wizard.
Let me see if I can get. I was going to grab that URL and post that one in there too.
It's also in the pin message in the Telegram.
Yep.
Along with the links to the PSDs.
So I post this over there. So I will go ahead and post that. That is the URL to get the wizard, and to get the wizard, then you can get the. And this is considered wasn't it considered a build?
No, it's just a skin.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I remember I installed it on my device, and I was messing around with it today. And I apologize, I wasn't able to mess with it until a half hour before the show.
Problem, so man. We got jobs. I worked 12 hours yesterday, 10 hours today, with about a 45-minute commute there and back. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I understand the commute. So yeah, but this is again a great project. If you'd like to help with this, jump in the Telegram group. I have the information down below. Please. Look at it, take a look at it, and even if you just use the skin, you never know. Because now we ask this question: so if someone installs it, the skin, and then you it would automatically add whatever buttons or menus automatically because it's looking at the server.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wouldn't have to like update it because it's looking at the server, and that's the main thing you got to look at when you click it. You saw
unless I add stuff into the skin, like I did fonts. I haven't. All those other fonts aren't in the skin that's in the wizard right now.
Okay.
So that has to be an update and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh, great! A great idea.
So far, there's 20 fonts. I started adding them. When you start looking at fonts for a bit, they start all looking the same.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, that one looks cool. But sometimes they look cool when you're looking at them, and then when you try to read them, it's like, what the hell is that even saying? I can't tell what the hell it's saying. That's why I was saying when I mess with fonts, and yeah, it looks cool on the menu bar in the sub menu. Oh, that looks great. And then I'd go into the settings and I'm like, I can't read it because it's all, big, little, or things are joined together. I was like, I can't use that font. So but I do like it that it's only on the menu bar. So at least it keeps it a little cleaner, in my opinion.
Yeah, my thought is once like Kodi 18's dead, I'm not building no more. I'm going to learn the skin side. Do that. Yep. That's where I'm going, because I don't even like. I'll do a build. I don't even watch it. I don't even like load it on my own devices.
Oh man, I use it on my device. I use mine build. I don't have a 19 yet. I got to do that, but I haven't. I use my build. To me, again, my build is like 4 add-ons. It's like so simple, and even because GoTo, when the last time I updated, that tells you how long. I hadn't even added GoTo yet because GoTo was just starting when I did my last update. It's like I think the only thing I have is on some of my builds I have the repository. I have the repository on there so if someone wants to add that, they can. Because to me, it's like I want to keep it small, simple. Don't add a bunch, because whenever I add a bunch of stuff to my build, guess what? I get calls from my family members or my friends saying, "Hey, I'm looking for this and this ain't working. How do I find that? Oh, there's too many things in here." So I'm like, let's keep it simple. KISS. Keep it stupid simple. Here's your 4 or 5 add-ons. That's all you need. Don't ask about nothing else. There is more, but you're just going to ask me more questions, and I don't want to answer them.
There's your sports. There's your TV shows. There's your box sets, whatever. Like you can do free add-ons, I reckon.
Yeah, that's the thing. I do the stuff that has the non-Debrid, and then I have the Debrid. And I'm like, all right, so you decide. I'm not going to tell you. I don't tell my family members. I say, hey, I spend the $18. Quit being a cheap ass. And I tell my family members that. I'm like, just spend the $18. You're gonna save the time that on the back end. Promise you.
Yep.
Because you're gonna be watching a show about 15, 20 minutes into it, and all of a sudden it's like,
and keep calling me,
that thing ain't working no more. Oh, it stopped. Let me back up and get another link. It's like, oh god.
I heard Real-Debrid's been down like about 2 hours ago, but it's only on the authorizing side of it.
Yeah, I was actually that was on one of our subjects today, was on Real-Debrid. So hey, since we talked about Sidekick, let's roll into some of our other news. You guys, everybody can hang in there. What
do you want to go back to the other stuff that we just needed to get before?
Yeah, well, let me touch on Real-Debrid, and then we'll go back to what's his name point. So Real-Debrid. We had issues with Real-Debrid last week, and let me go ahead and share my screen on this one.
Today also.
Huh?
Today also.
Okay, so today also. So Real-Debrid is having issues. And there's server issues, and they've said it's been all kinds of different reasons. And the thing about with Real-Debrid, they're not going to answer a lot of questions. They're not going to tell you what it is. They're just going to be very vague on it. But it's $18 for 6 months, so you get what you pay for. So they were down for a couple days, on and off. They weren't down completely, but they were up and down for a couple days. They said here for about 14 hours of downtime. They credited everybody 1 full week. So if your account was active, they gave you an extra week to give you credits for whatever inconveniences that you've had over those couple days. Now, maybe you didn't have any issues because you didn't use it. I did the other day when people were having issues. I was able to actually connect and watch it. Now, it kicked me out of one TV show. I had to click it and go back into the TV show, and it played to finish it out. But it depends on what server you're pulling from, what part of the world you're pulling from. There is a lot of variables, so they would fix some issues, but not all issues. But they gave everybody a free week, so if you have Real-Debrid, you've got a week free. So, it is what it is on that, you guys. So, and you said now it's down again today. So,
It was down for a little bit. I saw on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, and I will say that I did see where some people said they had to reauthorize. I didn't.
It might not be worldwide. It could be like European area.
Yep. Yeah, it depends on because when you connect to it, you're not connecting to one server. Not everybody connects to one server. You're connecting depends on your location. So certain areas may be out, but not other areas. So you'll have to figure out. And again, it's hit and miss. I don't know. If you paid $3 for something for a month, and some people act like it's the end of the world. I don't know. I mean, my lunch cost me more than $3, and you're getting something for a month, and they're bitching that that's down. It didn't work for a day. It's a day out of what 30. You had issues. I mean, I do think that the product needs to work, but I think sometimes that people's expectations need to be toned down a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think on that?
I'm with you. Hey, pay for it, and it's worth it. The first movie that you watch, to not have any of the aggravation, and you have that for a month. You know what I mean? You can't beat it, really. You just can't.
Yeah. It is. It's not that bad of a deal. So we were going to talk on a subject in let's see, Alban, because he's going to make sure So it was from Kyle Adams, and it says, "Hey Dabs, are you going to look at the Microgen anytime soon? Show the progress in the template." All right. So I'm gonna be honest with you, because I try to be honest in the show. Be whatever it is. I've only messed with Microgen like this much, and that's like when I'm opening CocoDab and when I close CocoDab. But I do know in the chat, there is a Telegram group, they've done some work. There has been some improvements. Now, it's not ready for. I don't think that it's ready for everybody. It's not as user-friendly and as set up as the first gen. It's not there. But I also think that we don't have you don't have a full-time dev, because we don't have a full-time person working on it like before. Before we had, back in the day with Jen, you had Mid that was making it, and he plugins, and he made those plugins, and he didn't even have to think about it. He could just make it. And we don't have that. So what we're having to depend on a little bit is we're having to depend on community people to be able to figure out these plugins. It's still a work in progress. Stuart asked, what is Microgen? So Microgen is a add-on base. So if you know Jen's Asgard. I'm trying to think of 4K, the 4K add-on. There's more add-ons than I can name. Hold on a second. Let me go to Kodi 18, and I can tell you when I'm looking at them. So like a ton, like a Kratos, or no, Kratos. I can't remember if that was a gen. But did GoTo, now GoTo's not a gen template, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember. But I think Skynet was a gen template. Revolution, or no, not Revolution. When Death Star was a gen template, and it was a base to create an add-on. You use this base, and you could plug in a whole bunch of other stuff. And that's Microgen was a version for Kodi 19. It was a very stripped down version. It didn't have all the bells and whistles that the Kodi 18 version had. So it's needing people that can read code and to be able to create plugins to make Microgen what Gen was. Because if you use my CocoDab, it is a Microgen. It's based on that. Add that source, it's a Microgen. But those are the only two that I know. I know that I read through some of the Telegram chat where you can create some direct links. Now the sublinks part was a problem, and it doesn't have scrapers. Everybody wants a scraper because if it's a pain in the butt to create all those direct links. So that's what Microgen is. So kind of a base to build an add-on from. Try to hit on the questions.
Theodore?
Yeah, I was looking at Theodore.
Yeah, he was talking about when we were talking about the Ola. I use
Ola.
That. Yeah.
All right. So what is Ola?
It's a what do you call it? When we're talking
APK?
about APK.
Okay. And it says, what Theodore had wrote is more hits than misses, enjoying it because of local and international channels.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got live IPTV.
Yeah, it's IPTV. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard of it, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, I haven't used that.
Oh.
It's like
that Ola 9 or something.
Ola,
like that.
and that's OLA.
OLA. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ola.
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 Let me take a look. Let me see. Let me see if I saw Ola on. I'm looking on the APK time.
Uh-huh.
You don't have Ola on there. I wonder why.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't see it on there. All right. So we'll see what that's at. Let me hit on Dab's Fluffer. Do you have anything going on, bud? Anything happening?
Not really.
Is that my egg?
Hey, is he in the bathroom again?
We're cracking as we do on Kodi 18 layer. We're not like doing 19s at the moment. We're cracking on that, do what we do, and we're trying to do the best streams and the best quality movies, box sets, shows. We keep up like the rest. Everyone's doing it now, so.
Mm-hmm. And it's a tough thing to stay in front of too.
All right. At the moment, right, there's about 5 add-ons that I say are the best.
On 18 or 19?
Of course, there's one I can name one on 18, and the other 5 are on 19. And I love my boys at Asgard. Q Continuum, love them boys. I still use the Loop, Rising Tides,
and I know that's Rising Tides. Rising Tides. I have people ask about Rising Tides all the time, and I never used it.
I will only use them as backups. Like if we can't, if I can't get it, we can't get it. Have they got it? How the fuck have they got it? Well, we can't get it. But that's never happened. So my build is heavily based on sport rather than like movies and TV show box sets, whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta have your football.
Yeah. Yeah, proper football, yeah. Like you say.
Yeah. And if you're on Telegram, you always see the damn the arguments about that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But yeah.
Oh, so Dabs, I have a question. With a lot of people switching to their libraries and their Plex, is that add-on Kodi Plex Connect still available for 19?
I don't know if it's on 19. I have not. That's a good question. I have not tried to install it on the 19. That I'll have to try that. Maybe I won't do it right this minute. I was thinking about trying. Like, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's not get sidetracked. A squirrel. But I don't know. I'll have to look at that sidekick. I know that it was on 18. I almost feel like it is, but I haven't tried it.
You're not gonna look. You're gonna talk to the wife later.
Well, she's not using Kodi to do it. I guarantee you that. She just uses Plex Direct. Kind of like Alban over here.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm going to the Plex Connect.
Streaming matters unless you're using Kodi.
Hey, we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
streaming matters.
If it's streaming matters, we used to have the other name, but
copied on my hard drive, huh?
Sometimes that streaming matters can be drinking matters.
Yeah, that's
it does. It happens. I mean, we have a good time. We try. The thing about with this show, I want us to have a good time. I want whoever comes on to have a good time. I want people that watch the show have a good time. We laugh, we learn, and because you learn better when you're enjoying it. If you've ever been in a class where you've had to where you're like, someone's teaching you, like you start to doze off. You want to have a good time.
I do. I agree. I think it's nice to like get questions from end users or whoever, like even like sophisticated people like Psychic, and like ask questions, and people like get an understanding of what you actually do. For free, basically. That's what everyone's doing. It's for free.
Yep.
The RD side or the Bridge side, but basically everyone joined Kodi for one reason: to cut the cable.
Yep. Or save money. I mean, maybe you didn't cut it completely, but you can narrow it down. Hey, and on a point, I'm looking at the Plex Kodi Connect, and that is what it's called. 3.1.3 is Kodi Matrix. 5 days ago, it was updated.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So just yeah.
No,
Madhead's right. He actually beat me to it because he's a little bit behind on us. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, DJ posted on here, DaButcher, some news on Terra skins. They have been modified to work on Kodi 19. They can be found in my repo and the Funster B repo. So hey, if you like some of the skins that Terra had, beautiful skins. He did a lot of work on those. He's able to do it. Oh, let me. I noticed that we had a guy in the chat. AAA. Massive props out. Hey, bud, how you doing? Anytime he wants to join the show, he is more than welcome to join the show because the things that he's helped to for the community with Shadow, and then I can't remember who I was talking to last week that it was like, Shadow was its own add-on, and then it took and you were able to take your playlist and which gens were playlists and add it to Shadow, and boom, you got a Kodi 19 add-on. And that's probably hurt Microgen, to be honest, because people don't have to have a gen to work in 19. They can just plug in that one URL and gen works. So it's a double-edged sword. It's good that it works, and it works great. It works fast. You're having the benefit of those scrapers. But if people didn't have that option, they would probably work harder to make Microgen work. Microgen to do better, if that makes sense. But hey, massive props out to him and his work, and for Shadow and all because even when he is not a gen user. He's not a gen user. He was never a big fan of gen. He's like, it's kind of slow. Is this and that's which I can't argue with it. But it also gen gave people the ability that knew nothing about making an add-on. It gave people the opportunity that knew nothing about how to make an add-on. They could have their own add-on, and not for public use, for just if you wanted to have it as this is what you use at home. And that was one of the things. It empowered people. And if you ever do anything, you start, and once you kind of get something,
you will apologize to the gen people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. And there is a Microgen out. There is a template, a base for it, and it's in our group. I think it's at 0.03. I think is the version that's out, and there is some people that are working on it, and there is a group of people that have been trying to develop it to make it along. Because, and I maybe I'm talking bad about it, but I'm not trying to. But I'm trying to say, if you're a complete noob, and that is not a derogatory term, and you don't know how to do much, but you can create a playlist, a small XML. Is Microgen at a point where you could plug in that XML and go and scrape? No, it's not there. Could you use it for some aspects? Yes, but it's not ready for prime time, I guess, is the best way I can explain it. It's ready for people that maybe have more knowledge, but not somebody that's like a complete noob and walking into it. And again, not knocking on people that are not super knowledgeable, because I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm not that smart. So
yes, you are. Stop.
No.
Yes, you are.
No,
Stop
I'm not that
yourself
smart.
down. You always put yourself down.
No, I know. I'm honest. Be honest. I'll be honest. This community is built on regular people, regular MF people, regular people. Sidekick. I went to work all day. I know Dab's Fluffer goes to work because he normally has to work on Saturday mornings after he hangs out with us. You know, regular people that are doing and got a family and got kids and got a job and got all that other stuff going on. And guess what? Then they try to create something and put it out there for everybody to enjoy. Just regular people. They may not have every single answer, but you know what? They give what they can. And that's what's so cool about this community, and I love it. I love it to death. I was going to talk on. I'm sorry, Noir. Did you have something to say about?
No, go ahead. No, I was going to talk bolts, but you go ahead.
I was going to. We're going to talk on VPNs and RD, and I'm not sure if either one of you two have VPN or three. VPNs and RD. All right, so I'm going to speak. Let's speak about RD first. And I've done a couple videos on RD, and you can look them up. And so RD premiumized DaButcher, whichever service you want. And there is other services, but those are the big three. So if you sign up for one of those, you have access to. You have access to anything they have on their cloud, or access to things that they have access to. So let's say, and I'm trying to use an analogy so people understand it. So let's say that I'm going to say Albin is RD. Okay. So Albin is RD, and Sidekick is a hosting site. Let's call him RapidGator. So Sidekick is a hoster that has all these videos, right? He's got all these videos. But when I try to go to Sidekick and I'm like, hey, Sidekick, let me get that video. And you're like, well, you're going to have to pay a $10 a month fee to watch this video. And that's how RapidGator, NitroFlare, and numerous other ones, they'll say you got to work through that. So what Albin does is Albin makes a deal with Sidekick and says, hey, I got you. If you give me access, my members have access to you. And if they do, anybody that is part of my membership can have access to you. Well, and Albin's probably paying, who knows what the money is. So what ends up happening is Sidekick says, yeah, Albin, any of your members can have access to my files. So me, that I'm a member of Albin stuff, I'm able to go to Real-Debrid, premiumize, whatever, and through him, I get to RapidGator. That's a hoster. So with Real-Debrid, you're going through Real-Debrid to get to these other sites, as well as Real-Debrid, and we already know Albin is a warehouse of library of content, as well as their content of cached items, which is items that they have stored on their servers. So you not only get access to what Albin has stored on Real-Debrid, you have access to anything that he has deals with. Anybody that he's doing. If you look at the Real-Debrid site or even Premiumize, it has a list of who their partners. I think their partners is what they call them. Their partner sites. It's a bunch. So that's how Real-Debrid works. If I can go to to Real-Debrid and say, hey, I want this movie. And if they don't have it cached, they will download it from a torrent and they'll have it. And then I watch it from Real-Debrid. So that's how Real-Debrid kind of works in a nutshell. And I did a video to try to explain it, but I'm trying to use analogies so maybe some new people would understand it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So VPNs. So some people say, do I need a VPN with Real-Debrid? Well, I'm connecting to Real-Debrid through a HTTPS because that is actually an option when you set up Real-Debrid. You can turn on secure SSL or not. When I connect to Real-Debrid, I connect and I have a secure connection. Now, my ISP can see that I connected to Real-Debrid. That's what they can see. They have no idea what I watched on Real-Debrid, what files I got from Real-Debrid, what files I even sent to Real-Debrid. All they know is I connected to Real-Debrid. So people say, do I need a VPN for that? It depends on your paranoia effect, your elevation, how paranoid you are. If you are worried that Real-Debrid is going to turn over your information, then maybe you need a VPN. Now think about this. So why would Real-Debrid turn over your information? That happens if I'm going to say Ace, we talked about Ace earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Ace goes to a judge and says, hey, I'm looking at DaButcher and he's been up to some shady shit. And we have evidence that he's been doing this. They'll have to name out what evidence they think I've been doing. And they go to this judge and they say, he's been doing it via Real-Debrid. And we know that he's been doing these shady things. And this is the list of what he's doing wrong. They got to take that to a judge, and the judge has to say, you know what? You have enough evidence. Real-Debrid needs to turn over those logs. So then Ace goes to Real-Debrid and says, hey, we want the information on that customer. Not every single customer. That customer. That IP address. We want information on that one. At that point, I would probably say that Real-Debrid would probably turn that over. What is the likelihood that Motion Picture Association, Ace, what's the other one? What's that other one in the UK? It's not Ace. Huh? Tact? They had another name.
FACT.
Fact. Yes, fact. So they would have to get direct evidence of what my things were to go after me. And then go directly at that. So if you step back and look at it logically, first of all, my ISP has no idea what I'm watching through Real-Debrid. No idea. So for my for the Motion Picture Association to have an idea of what I'm watching or when I'm watching it, because maybe I'm just watching two kitties playing in the, because Real-Debrid has a lot of stuff. I could be just watching kitties playing in the, like kittens playing in the yard. That's all. Maybe that's what it is. So do you feel that they could get your information and go after you directly? Now, if I'm tied to a crime, then maybe they have enough evidence to take it to a judge and say, he's involved in this crime, so we're going to go after this information. Okay, so now they've tied you to certain accusations. So that's where, again, your paranoia level. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here. You've got to decide. Yeah. I'm a belief that I don't feel that I'm not paranoid enough to think that my ISP is tracking everything I'm doing.
I just think that there's more stuff to worry about than like get free links. Yeah,
exactly. I mean,
surviving, living till like 100 years old. It's more important to me than get free links. I can do shit. But if someone does my stuff, stop doing it. You're all right.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. And I think Roger has a point here, and he talks about, I use one in Canada from time to time to access content that's blocked in the U.S. Most people that use a VPN in this context are using it to access content that's blocked from their ISP or from their country, which ISP and their country can gotta go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that's why most people will use a VPN, is because they want to access. Like the UK is one of the most restricted places in the world for getting certain content outside of China.
Is the UK like the epicenter of piracy? I swear, I think it is.
Well, you got to pay for free. You got to pay for regular TV in the UK. You got to pay for a TV license. Over the air, you got to pay for a license.
Hand over those rabbit ears.
Yeah. Pay.
That license costs you about 120 to 150 pounds
A year. That's crazy.
Right. And
Just
you
to
don't
have.
and you don't use it because you've got cable or satellite coming in, but you still got to pay for that license as well. Then you pay your cable bill, like whether it be Virgin, BT, whoever, be like 700 channels of fucking shit.
No taxation without representation.
Representation.
Yeah. So, but that's most people use a VPN for that. Now, some people that are add-on people, add-on developers, I can see why they would want to use a VPN while they're doing certain tasks. I can understand that because you're doing something. Now, if you're just a end user streaming and watching whatever, I don't know. I can't see a reason why you would use it.
Just like act ignorant. I got just say I got it off Play Store. I didn't know it was illegal. You got to get done.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Play Store. Oh, there's an APK. This got an iPhone. You fucking prick anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing I was gonna talk about a VPN is there is some people that feel that you're being tracked all the time and this and that, and you are. I'm sorry, you are a product being sold. I don't care how you turn around. You are a product. What you search for.
If you got a cell phone, you're tracked.
Yeah, that was my point. I was going to get to that because everything you click on, no, you're fine. Anything you click on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, it unless you're using a protected browser, it's done it. Now they're not doing it to track you and say, oh well, he was at this location. What they're doing is they're doing it so that they're like, oh, he's interested in jet skis. Let's say I did a search for jet skis. All of a sudden, jet ski starts popping up in your search menu. And when you go to Facebook, boom, there's some jet ski ads. I did a thing for cryptocurrency. Thank you, DaButcher. I jumped into crypto this past week. You know what? I've been wanting to do it, and I finally took the plunge. So I jumped into it. Yeah. So I jumped into it. What do you think are all my freaking ads on Facebook right now? When I go to it, I see market analyze. Here's this, crypto that. Here's a new app to get. Why? Because it followed my search engine and my search results, even though I was using Firefox. If I would have used a protected browser, I would have got it. Now, am I thinking, do I need to be concerned that they're tracking me? No. All they did is they tailored the ad to things that I search for. How many times have you guys... If you guys use Facebook now, Alban don't use Facebook.
Markets is irrelevant, repetitive.
Yeah.
There is a setting in your privacy settings where you can turn off all the links, all your apps, because Facebook draws ads from all the apps that you can. So what you got Kodi player, whatever player, VLC player. It's causing like crap from work. You can turn them off, and it does reduce. Doesn't stop them, but it reduces the amount that comes through.
Yeah, and it's inevitable. And as Noir says, people talk about, well, I'm gonna be protected. If you're carrying a freaking cell phone, this thing knows everywhere you are at. And maybe you don't have GPS, and they're like, well, I don't have my GPS turned on.
Don't matter.
Okay, that's true. But you know what? It pings towers. You know, they tie people to crimes that way. They're like, well, we can't lock him into a certain location because the GPS went on, but we can lock him into, he was pinged at the strength of the tower was, of this tower was this, strength of this tower was this, strength of this tower is this. So we can give him a couple blocks or, you know, a few blocks radius that person was within that radius, not an exact location. So when people talk about, that stuff, so you're going to have to figure out what your level of paranoia is. Do you need to wear a tinfoil hat? Because maybe you do, because there's gamma rays coming in. They're trying to control your mind. I'm a believer like this. Am I going to be sold ads because I search for cryptocurrency? Hell yeah. I'm going to be shown ads because I until I search for whatever. I probably need to do a search for, like, you know, jet skis, so that I start getting jet ski ads. Until you search for something else, then that becomes the top of the list. That's just how those, because these are free apps, free platforms. They made their money somewhere. Where did they make their money? They make their money off of ads. And generic ads don't work as good as a targeted ad. If they know that you have a prostate issue and you did some searching for prostate stuff, and all of a sudden all these ads start to, not that I have a prostate issue, but so you start searching for that, and all of a sudden those ads, now I'm more likely to click it. Well, Facebook makes more money when you click on that ad. Same thing with YouTube. If an ad comes on YouTube and say the ad, let's say the ad is for cord cutting or TV, and you click on that ad, it actually adds to my clicks on the AdSense on how that, I don't know how that all works, but it adds it to AdSense, actually gives it more clout, more money. And it's not actually money, but it can go towards money. Let's say that it was Amazon, for example, and then somebody bought something from Amazon. Actually, more AdSense goes to that because they clicked my link on the YouTube, and then they went to Amazon, and then they bought something from Amazon because they went from via me. That's how YouTubers make money. If YouTubers make more money if you click on that ad. Why do you think that a lot of YouTubers say, click on that link below to go to YouTube or go to Amazon? That's
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and share, and click on them links down below, because that's how they make it. Same thing with Facebook. When you click on a link in Facebook, Facebook is kind of getting credit for that.
Yeah.
And so that's how that all. Yeah.
Well,
and DJ says it will.
ahead.
It will. Fine. It'll lock you down.
My thing is, ever since I've loaded up a lot of those ad blockers, you know, I've done well. Sure, you know, you're trying to scroll through a page, but you don't see the ad. But sometimes it might be, it's blocked out, which is great because I don't have to see what the hell they're selling me. I really do enjoy that. But you know, a lot of times it's just, you know, you could be, you know, watching something on TV. And all of a sudden, you know, you're getting stuff on that. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. Again, you got to figure out your paranoia level.
Yeah.
And again, what you're comfortable with. I know some people are like, they're paranoid about everything, and I'm being tracked by this. You know what? And I know Snowden. Remember Snowden? Yeah. What was it, Edward Snowden?
Edward, yeah.
Talked about the government and I will say one of the things in the U.S., 9/11 gave away more rights as Americans than anything, because we were so worried about terrorism that we gave the government rights to do things that were outside of the normal protocol. Checks and balances. Oh, you think that guy's doing something in a terroristic act? Oh, well, yeah, you can get his phone records without a subpoena. Yeah. Or, you know, they worked around it because in the for national security, yeah, we think it's great.
Yep.
But national security isn't just for the
Big
terrorists.
blanket. Nope.
It goes over everybody. So
Yep.
I don't think you should bring this conversation into this show for this, because just saying.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Some
No, he's
people have
saying-
opinions on that, on this, which I do, but I'm not saying nothing. Back to streaming matters anyway.
Noir, you go off. You've had too much drink because I can't keep up. With you. All right, so
he can't even hold the phone right now. So.
no, that's all right. All right, so
he's passed out on the floor somewhere, you know.
Hey, so Jay pointed out, like what I was saying, that's how that goes. This is why these platforms are free to use. When they have these free to use, they got to make their money somewhere for that stuff. Patty D, skip. Yeah. And again, even for me, I skip past ads all the time. And you know what it is? I mean, it's for free. Ad blockers themselves fingerprint you because they can see that you're blocking ads, and it can. You've got to figure out what you're comfortable with, guys. And some people are like, oh, Dabs, use a VPN for no, because I'm using Real-Debrid again. My ISP doesn't know what I'm watching. Real-Debrid. Those are connected to Real-Debrid. They don't know what I'm watching. Now, could they get a subpoena, like I had said earlier? Yes, they could. But they got to have probable cause to get a subpoena to pull my content. And again, when I talked about ACE and best bang for their buck, they're not going to spend thousands of dollars to find out if I watched whatever movie I watched. No, that's not profitable, because think about it. They have to go to the MPAA and say, your money that you gave us, these are the things we stopped, and them say, well, we stopped Dabs from watching, Avengers. That's not high on the list. I mean, that's not high on their list. So it is what it is.
They stop you, then they stop 10,000 other people that have streamed it legally.
You
can't put them all in prison because they watch like Avengers.
No, I mean, it's like I said,
that
they
would
go
be
after.
Yeah, there'll be a precedent set then that you can't imprison people for illegal streaming, and it gets set. The things should change.
Yeah. So I was going to. We're almost at 2 hours, so I'm going to try to keep us at 2 hours, and then we'll go to the after show just to BS for a little bit. So Albin,
yeah,
is it tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have UFC on ESPN.
Oh, is it ESPN?
It's ESPN.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah, regularly ESPN. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Prelims start at 6, and the main card is 8.
Oh, early then.
Yeah, it's early.
People won't have to stay up late.
Right, but you know how things go. With something like that. But the main fights are
that'll be at 10.
Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson. The karate hottie there. Right? That's her, right? Is that the karate
I don't know.
hottie?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. So who's the main event?
Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson.
Auburn, have you put money on it, or is it just like for a free bet, this one?
No, I didn't put no money on that.
Right,
you have Donald Cerrone and Alex Morano also tomorrow.
Donald, you can't trust what he's going to do.
Yeah,
Cerrone.
I know.
Hey, you don't know what you're gonna. You might get Cowboy or you get Donald. I can't remember.
Let's go back to the Cerrone. What's his name there? The Irish guy there. Proper 12
McGregor?
there. Yeah, McGregor. Come on. When McGregor takes him out with his shoulder, with shoulder strikes, I was so pissed off at him.
No, that is the thing with Cowboy. You don't know what you're gonna get, and I can't remember what fighter says, "I don't know who's gonna show up, Cowboy or Donald," because there's two fighters.
Right.
Cowboy is there to fight.
Uh-huh.
Donald is there to get a paycheck.
Just to get a paycheck. Yep. Absolutely.
You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah, I don't know. I might watch it if Charles comes up here and we're just gonna BS and watch.
Well, you got a Neil Magny fight again. Against Jeff Neal, and Mo Green is fighting also.
Yeah, kind of a soft card.
Yeah, it is.
Is there a UFC the following week though?
262.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about time for another UFC.
Yeah, that's May 15th. Yeah, the 262. That's Charles Oliveira against Michael Chandler. And Tony Ferguson against Darush. Yeah, and that's about it really. Well, we'll see if they're gonna add some more stuff to that data card. But I don't think tomorrow's card is gonna be all that unless for some reason all of a sudden the prelim fights are gonna be better than
sometimes
what happens, yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
I was going to take a look.
Your accent is almost quite English.
My accent?
Yeah, it's really like well spoken.
Oh yeah, that's because my grandmother was from England.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's
not too much in the bag.
He didn't say that about me. He didn't say that about me.
Yeah, right.
What the hell's up with that?
but at least I spell like an American. You know what I mean? Forget that words where you're ending with an extra e at it. I can't deal with that.
Hey, I will say tonight there is
with the extra u.
Bellator 258 is on right now.
Okay.
The prelims are on right now. Excuse me.
Okay. Good.
Prelims are on right now. The card starts at 9. Nobody humongous on that one. So if you're looking for fights, there is Bellator tonight. So that's something to watch if you're a UFC or MMA guy or person. I shouldn't say guy. Good guy or gal.
I can't wait for Floyd to beat up that YouTuber.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's his head smash.
Yeah, Jake Paul.
Floyd Mayweather is gonna smash the fuck out of his head.
Yeah.
Did you see the video yesterday? Jake Paul took his baseball cap off his head. You see it?
No. Was it groundbreaking? They took his baseball cap off.
It was like the pre-meet before the fight, like the big up to it, the press conference sort of stuff, and like they're both there. And Jake Paul, he's such a knob. He's gonna get kicked. He will die. He's not a boxer.
Well, I mean, he can box a little, but he's not boxing at the same level.
Floyd
is Floyd.
I don't like what he did to my Nate Robinson.
Oh gosh! I mean, all right. So that was a basketball player. That was a basketball player that he knocked the f out.
Because I'm a Knicks fan. That's why.
I will say, anybody that likes to if you want a circus, and I talked about it, I think last week when we talked about the Triller. You need to go back and watch Trillers. There it's a circus. The stuff that happens on those shows is actually worth watching. Now, is it good boxing? No, it's not good boxing. But it's all the other stuff. I'm watching it, cracking up when Snoop Dogg is smoking blunts and they're drinking and they're some of the artists that I have no idea who these artists are that are singing and shaking their money makers. I don't know who they are. I'm like, okay. It's a hot mess. So, hey, Tech Nick, what's up? It's
like that bare knuckle. You ever watch the bare knuckle fight?
Yes. I watched bare knuckle. That was actually on last weekend.
Was it?
I think it was last weekend. Yeah, last weekend it was on. Those, I mean, people get you're amazed. And that's one of the things, people get cut quick with bare knuckles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
no. Usually if someone gets the upper hand in bare knuckle, just like as if on a street fight, someone gets the upper hand, it's pretty much going to be over. There's nobody coming back after round 3. It's
Right.
that doesn't happen very often.
Bare knuckle hits a 50-50.
Yeah.
You can split your hand to fuck, or you split the head to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You could do both in one go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched it. It's actually a little bit on the brutal side, so it's up to you if you want to watch it. So hey, we're at 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and run through everybody to talk about anything that they want to talk about. Then we'll throw to an after show. I don't know. I don't like no fancy mice. All right, so Noir, I'll let you start since you were the last to join the show. Anything you want to say or high points you want to bring up?
I just want to say, like, thank you to like people this last month. Add-on wise, it's been like immense. It's like there's some good shit coming out this past month, and I also like thank you to like. No, I'm not gonna say names because I know who they are.
Yeah, that's cool.
But everyone knows who they are. No one needs to know. But yeah, well done, absolutely well done.
Yep. All right.
It's just amazing.
Go choose the jam on. Sidekick. Thank you for joining the show. Again, we talked about your community project. Anything you want us to talk about before we leave the show?
Like how I want to talk about how how Andy learned from Q. I picked up some stuff from Andy along the way, but I wouldn't come this far if it wasn't for TK. He taught me so much. So I got to give him credit, man. I wouldn't be able to do almost a lot of stuff that I can do right now. So anyway, did it. So
yeah,
thanks for having me on.
And
all right,
I'll stick with your Star Wars skin on one of my bills upstairs in my bedroom, I think.
Oh, nice.
I love that Star Wars one.
Thanks.
Yeah, still going.
I was gonna, so I will post the links. Will be in the show notes below. So if you guys are watching this and you click on the links, you'll see the hyperlinks to the Telegram group, where you're going to get the latest updates, the information. You'll be able to stay in the know on that. So that's going to be in there. And again, this is a community project. He's wanting people to jump in on this, and we have plenty of people. I've saw numerous people on the side over here that have super mad skills. And like you said, if you get some of the iconic people, some of those the arts groups, State of Arts, you get some of those folks in there. Who knows where this thing's going to go? Who knows where this can go? So, thank you. Thank you for joining. Alban.
Wow. Noir. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm so pleased that I've been with you tonight for this one because it's been brilliant.
I think everyone wants to know though, Noir. Are you laying on the floor?
I am standing upright, mate. I've got work in 6 hours' time.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm glad you ain't my employee come rolling in there smelling us some booze.
It's Saturday tomorrow. I've got work.
Either that or his, tossing one off. Before.
No, I know. No, that's not. No, I don't even want that in here. No, I don't want that in here.
Sidekick, I want to thank you again because I know tomorrow morning or late tonight I'm gonna be checking this thing out and messing with Kodi again.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's really a really neat project. That I am, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And Dabs, thanks for having me. Like usual, I love being here. And to everyone out on
Wednesday.
the side.
What's Wednesday?
So on Wednesday we have our player pass, and I know you didn't do your homework yet, but we had two two movies. One was Tom Clancy's Without Remorse that the panel picked, and we have Tina, that Tina Turner one. That was Eddie's pick, and unfortunately, that was Eddie's pick was the last pick there was. We're going to be changing our format up to
Tina Turner is simply the best.
Yeah,
she's won already. Right, you don't have to review that. There's a winner. Simply the best. You've won.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's one. Tom Clancy's one.
And
actually.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
1 man leave.
Yeah.
This is Thunderdome, baby.
Yeah. So we got that going to happen on Wednesday. So you guys watch us on Wednesday, Player Pass, and that's again non-techie show. It's just we talk about movies.
And you can go on Telegram now and vote for your movies if you've already watched them. And this way it'll all help us all out for the when we have our award show at the end of the season. All those votes count.
Yeah, because we do the award show every 20, and we talk about what was the best and the worst movies for each season. It's fun. Yeah. It's good. Again, that show is Wednesday nights on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, and it's just fun. We have numerous people on there, and we open up the chat. Anybody can join the show and just talk. Did you like the movie or not like the movie? And so we're going to change the format up a little bit after next week. We'll see how that all works out. But hey. Fun to see. Last week was Nobody, which was the new movie, and then Romeo Must Die was last week. Yeah. So, you get to find out about new movies and see what we thought and see if it matches up what you thought, because we have numerous panels. So, thanks again for everybody joining the show. Thanks to Sidekick for being willing to come on the show and to showcase his project. And I am hoping that more people jump in and help him with that project to make it bigger and better, because that's what this community is about. I do, like I had said, I know some people knock on the word community, and but no, there is. And even community sometimes will have a little bit of squabbles and some not always get along. Certain people are not always going to get along, but you know what?
Blah, blah.
Yeah, but you can't. You know what? Just like you can't. Your family, you don't get along with everybody in your family. There's times where certain people don't get along for a fight. So you just do what you need to do. We got this project that's going on. I think it's a great, unique, and that's how he says it. Great idea. Great of a project. I can't wait to see where this skin goes. I think that there's a lot of potential here. Again, if you'd like to be on the show, if there's a project you have going on, an add-on, a skin, a build, or like I saw Tech Nick over there. If you want to jump in on there, hey, more than welcome. Hit me up. My platform is always open every Friday night to try to educate people, try to share some knowledge. That's what this is about. This is about sharing knowledge, learning, and having fun. And I have a couple beers, bullshit. We all have a good time. So again, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. And because streaming matters to us, because streaming matters to you.